Hi students, in our today's session, let us learn about the topic stoichiometry of chemical reactions, the general approach. Coming to stoichiometry, according to a chemical reaction, there is a relation in between the reactants and products. In chemistry, it is very important to understand the relation between the reactants and the products in a particular chemical reaction. What is meant by chemical reaction? In every chemical reaction, there is a presence of reactants and products. Here is the general example I have written. A plus B gives rise to C plus D. Here A and B, these two are acting as reactants, and C and D, these two are acting as products. Definition of reactants is if the substances which are involving in the chemical reaction, there undergoes a change, it leads to form products. Then after completion of the chemical reaction, what are the substances we get? Those only products. Okay, dear students, now the relation in between the relative quantities of a substance taking part in a reaction of forming a compound. For suppose H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2O. In this reaction, hydrogen and oxygen, these two are the reactants and this is the compound. It is only product. According to stoichiometry, there is a relation in between the relative quantities of a substance taking part in a reaction of forming a compound. Typically in a whole number ratio, that means typically a ratio of whole integers. Coming to stoichiometry, one of the most important aspects of chemical equation is that when it is written in the balanced form. Already you know that according to law of conservation of mass, the balanced chemical equation is the number of atoms and also the mass of the atoms of the reactants equal to the mass of the products. That means the total number of reactants must equals to the total number of the atoms presented in the products. Okay, that is the balanced equation. That balanced equation form, it gives quantitative relationship between the various reactants and the products in terms of, here you can see, in terms of moles and masses and molecules and volumes. This is called stoichiometry. Okay, once again I'm repeating, students. For suppose when it is written in the balanced form, it gives a quantitative relationship in between the various reactants and products in terms of volumes, masses and moles and molecules. This is only stoichiometry. In Greek word, the meaning of this measure of an element in Greek word, in Greek language. The coefficients of the balanced chemical equation are called stoichiometric coefficients. For example, a balanced chemical equation along with the quantitative information, I'm going to give you an example of calcium carbonate with HCl. Calcium carbonate formula CaCO3 plus HCl gives rise to calcium chloride plus water plus CO2. Let us balance this chemical equation. First of all, here hydrogen atoms are 2. Then if you place here before this HCl2, then entire equation is balanced. Coming to calcium, only 1, here also 1, chlorine, here 2 chlorine atoms, here also 2, oxygens, here 3, here 1 plus 2, 3. So this is balanced. Now students, we can analyze this chemical equation. This is only 1 mole of calcium carbonate, 1 mole, here 2 moles, and this is also 1 mole, and here water also 1 mole, and CO2 also 1 mole. Let us see now molecular masses of this. Calcium is 40 plus, here is the carbon, And the atomic mass of carbon is 12 according to its atomic number. Atomic number is 6. Here 3 oxygen atoms are presented, so 3 into 16. 16 is the atomic mass of oxygen. Now students, you should get 100 grams, that is the molecular mass of this calcium carbonate. Coming to this HCl students, I am going to write here 2 HCl. So 2 into hydrogen atomic mass is 1 and chlorine here, chlorine atomic number is 17, its atomic mass is 35.5. Okay, now finally 73 grams is the molecular mass of this HCl, 2 HCl, 2 moles of HCl. Now coming to calcium chloride. About calcium, you know that previously atomic mass is 40 plus chlorine, also you know here 2 chlorine atoms, so 2 into 35.5. okay, here 111 grams, that is the molecular mass of calcium chloride. Coming to water, here is 1 mole of water, so here 2 into 1 plus 16. Okay, 16 is the mass of oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms, so 18 grams. Coming to carbon dioxide, here also 1 mole, and here carbon means 12 plus 2 into 16, 44 grams of CO2. Or this 44 also we can take it as 24.4 liters at STP. In this chemical reaction, already as I told you, 1 mole of calcium carbonate reacts with 2 moles of hydrochloric acid to give 1 mole of calcium chloride and 1 mole of water and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Here students, in this reaction 100 grams of calcium carbonate react with 73 grams of HCl to give 111 grams of calcium chloride and 18 grams of water and 44 grams of CO2. Okay, the quantitative information conveyed by a chemical reaction and the chemical equation helps in a number of calculations. The problems involving these calculations may be classified into these 3 types. First one is mass and mass relationship, second one is mass and volume relationship, and third one is volume and volume relationship. In this first one, mass and mass relationship, mass of one of the reactants or one of the products is given, and the mass of the reactants and some other reactants or products to be calculated, here basing upon the mass of the reactants and mass of the products. Coming to second one, mass and volume relationship. In this, mass per volume of one of the reactants or products is given, and the volume per mass of the other is to be calculated. And coming to third one, volume relationship. In this, volume of one of the reactants or products is given and the volume of the other is to be calculated. Okay, the general method of calculation of all the problems by using these 3 steps. Let us see one by one by using these 3, by taking some examples. Before going to do that, let us see some more important points before going to solving the problems. First of all, you have to write the balanced chemical equation, and second step is write the relative number of moles or the relative masses, just like gram atomic mass or gram molecular mass of the reactants and the products as well as just below their chemical formulae. So first point students, we have to write the balanced chemical equation for that particular chemical reaction, and the second one is according to molecular mass as well as the atomic mass, you should write that atomic mass below the formulae. And the third step, in case of gaseous substances, the presence of gaseous substances is there in that specific reaction, write down 22.4 liters at STP below the formula in place of 1 mole. Okay, coming to fourth step, apply just unitary method. unitary method to take the required calculations. Okay students, now let us see some just solved examples to illustrate the different types of problems. Type 1 involving mass and mass relationship. Here we have the first question. Calculate the mass of iron which will be converted into its oxide, that is Fe3O4, by the action of 18 grams of steam on it. This is the question, and for this the chemical equation representing the reaction, there must be a reaction in between iron Fe plus steam nothing but water, and gives rise to what will be formed. Here they have given Fe3O4 plus H2. Let us balance this first of all. Here only one iron, so here 3 irons, so if you place here 3 and here 2, coming to oxygens, here 4, so if you place here 4, then here 4 it is equal. Now students, here also 4. Now totally all the atoms in the sides of reactants and products, it will be same. Coming to iron and water, you have to calculate the molecular masses of this. Okay, iron, here 3 atoms into molecular, that is atomic mass is 56. So students, how much it is? 168 grams. Now 4 into water molecules, how many? 4. So 18 is the molecular mass of water, so it is 72 grams. Thus students, basing upon this calculation, you can say that 72 grams of steam react with 168 grams of iron. Therefore 18 grams of steam will be reacting with 168 by 72 into 18, that is equal to, here is 2.33 into 18, that is 42 grams of iron. So the mass of iron required is 42 grams. Now see the question. Calculate the mass of iron which will be converted into its oxide Fe3O4 by the action of 18 grams of steam on it. So this is the solution. Totally we got that 42 grams. Let us see the second example. Here what we have, 1.5 grams of an impure sample of Na2SO4 is dissolved in H2O, was treated with excess amount of barium chloride solution when 1.74 grams of barium sulfate were obtained as dry precipitate. Calculate the percentage of purity of a sample. This is the question. So basing upon this question, you have to write the chemical equation for this. First of all, the given impure compound is sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. This Na2SO4 is treated with, here it is treated with barium chloride, BaCl2, what they have given and treated. And students, the formed compound is barium sulfate. The amount is 1.74 grams. This information they have given in the question itself. Now the chemical equation representing the reaction is, here is Na2SO4 plus barium chloride, BaCl2, gives rise to barium sulfate, that is only barium sulfate, BaSO4. This is the main compound. Now let us calculate the molecular masses of these compounds in the reactant side and the product side. Sodium atoms are 2 here, so 2 into atomic number of sodium is 11, its atomic mass is 23. Okay, plus sulfur atomic number is 16 and its mass is 32. Plus here are the 4 atoms of oxygen, so 4 into oxygen atomic mass is 16. Okay, now finally students, what you should get, 142 grams. In that way only, for suppose the barium sulfate also, if you calculate the molar mass, barium it is 137 plus 32 is for sulfur, plus again same 4 into 16 is for oxygen. Okay, here is the calculation, 233 grams of barium sulfate. In step 1, this is the main chemical equation. In step 1, what we have, 233 grams of barium sulfate. Barium sulfate are produced from 142 grams of sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Therefore, 1.74 grams of it would be obtained from this sodium sulfate is equal to 142 by 233 into 1.74. Through this simple calculation, you should get 1.06 grams. This is step 1. In step 2, students, what you have to do, the mass of pure Na2SO4 present in 1.5 grams of impure sample is 1.06. And coming to step 2, to calculate the percentage purity of impure sample is 1.5 grams of impure sample contains 1.06 grams of pure Na2SO4. Now, therefore, from that 100 grams of the impure sample will contain the pure Na2SO4. For that, the calculation is 1.06 by 1.5 into 100. 70.67 grams. So, this is the percentage purity of impure sample, 70.67. So, this is complete solution of this question. Here what we have, the calculate the percentage of purity of the sample in 2 steps. Okay, let us go for the next step, the second one, type 2. Involving mass and volume relationship here. The question number 1, what volume of CO2 measured at 27 degrees Celsius and 746.7 millimeters pressure would be obtained by treating 10.0 grams of pure marble with dilute HCl. Okay, here is that aqueous tension is 27 degrees Celsius is 26.7. Now, the chemical equation representing this complete reaction, here you can see there is a marble. So, marble means which is made up of calcium carbonate. So, which is going to react with dilute HCl. So, what are the formed products? CaCO3 plus HCl. Then products are calcium chloride plus H2O plus CO2. So here H2O, so if you place here 2, then the equation is balanced. This is only 100 grams and here is 22,400 centimeter cube at STP. Right. In step 1, what we have to do, basing upon this chemical equation, to calculate the volume of this CO2 evolved from 10 grams of CaCO3. Already you know that from 100 grams of calcium carbonate, how much amount of CO2 will be produced, you know. And basing upon that, you need to calculate from 10 grams of CaCO3, how much amount of CO2 will be formed. Okay. Now, from 100 grams of calcium carbonate, here is that 22,400 grams of CO2. This is for 100 grams. Into 10 means you should get this answer, 2240 centimeter cube. This is the volume of CO2 evolved at STP. Okay, this is only step 1. In step 2, to calculate the volume of CO2 at 27 degrees Celsius and 746.7 mm pressure. Okay, now students, you have to know that V1 is equal to 2240 centimeter cube. V2 is equal to how much you need to calculate. P1 pressure is equal to 760 mm and P2 is equal to 746.7 minus 26.7. Then you should get P2. Coming to temperature, T1 is equal to 273 Kelvin. T2 is equal to 27 plus 273 Kelvin. That is 300 Kelvin. Now applying the gas equation, that is only PV is equal to nRT. We should get, now we have V1, V2, P1, P2, T1, T2. From these values you should calculate that V2. So basing upon this formula, V2 into 720, 720 is here, P2, that is only 720, by subtracting these two, by 300. 300 is that T2. Now from this, V2 is 2240 into 720 by 273. Now V2 is equal to 2240 into 760 by 273 into 300 by 720, that is 2598.3 centimeter cube. That is the answer, the volume of carbon dioxide obtained. Here in case 3, that is type 3, involving volume-volume relationship. Here is the question we have. What volume of oxygen at STP is required to effect complete combustion of 200 centimeter cube of acetylene? Here is the acetylene formula you have to know, and what would be the volume of carbon dioxide formed. The chemical equation representing the combustion of acetylene. Combustion, students, you know that combustion reaction means there is a presence of oxygen. That is only combustion reaction. So here is that acetylene formula, C2H2 plus, in the presence of oxygen, that is only O2, then CO2, H2O. These two are the products. Now let us balance this chemical equation. Here 2 carbon atoms, and here, then if you place here 2, here 4, and here 5, here 2. Now let us check it once. 4 carbons, here 4 carbons, okay, equal. Oxygens, 5 2s 10 oxygens, here 4 2s 8 plus 2, 10 oxygens. So it is balanced chemical equation. Now in step 1, what we have to do to calculate the volume of O2 at STP required to effect complete combustion of 200 centimeter cube of acetylene. This is we can calculate. Now basing upon this chemical equation, we should say that 2 volumes of acetylene, 5 volumes of O2, 4 volumes of CO2, again 2 volumes of water. Applying Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes to this, here 2 volumes of acetylene, C2H2 required. O2 for complete combustion is 5 volumes. So therefore 200 centimeter cube of acetylene, C2H2, will require how much amount of O2? That should be 5 by 2 into 200. So 500 centimeter cube at STP. Thus the volume of O2 required is 500 centimeter cube at STP. This is step 1. In step 2, to calculate the volume of CO2 produced at STP. For this also you have to apply Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. 2 volumes of acetylene, C2H2, produce. CO2 is 4 volumes. According to that chemical equation, you can write that. Now 200 centimeter cube of acetylene, C2H2, at STP will produce how much of CO2? That is 4 by 2 into 200. So 400 centimeter cube at STP. Thus the volume of CO2 produced is 400 centimeter cube at STP. Okay students, this is about today's session, and this is the complete solution of this question. What would be the volume of CO2 and by the combustion reaction of acetylene. Okay students, if you understand this class, you can share to your friends. And if you have any doubt on this topic, you can convey in the comment section. Just I'll give you reply to them. Okay students, this is about today's session, stoichiometry of chemical reactions and what is the general approach, and about these three types we discussed in this session students. In each type, in each case, two examples I've explained to you. In third case, only one example just I told you. Okay students, please subscribe to this channel for my further updates. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.